Very first EsportsTV Star League finalist that we've ever had. The map is loading, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into it right now. Maru versus Stats here in the semifinals of the Neighbor Star League. I'm Wolf. With me is Moonglade, and this is going to be great.
Down here to the bottom left, it is the player on match point. It is Maru.
Very, very straight up win last game. Momentum is in his hands. But a great win rate on this map for this player to the top right. In blue, it's Stats. Just has to stay focused. For him, the goal is to just make it to that 7th map.
You know, make it to the money map, make it to King Sejong once again.
You know, step by step, get to that game 7.
Now, what will Maru's opening be on this map is the next question. You know, he could do a similar sort of style. It is a very open natural on this map as well. So if he chose to do the same thing, I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
I think we are going to see, for at the very least, the same opening to begin with the Reaper into Reactor. Great map for Reaper. There's a kind of a little back door you can jump up into.
Yeah. There's the gas, so it starts to look that way. You know, Maru seems like he never gets nervous, but I can actually see it sometimes when I look at him. Like, he's really stressed. I feel like Maru almost gets more stressed out the closer he gets to winning.
Probably,
when he's down in the series, he doesn't seem to be as stressed.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, he's always got that carefree sort of look in his face, no matter what happens, I think.
Yeah.
So he did look pretty upset in GSL when he lost.
Yeah, for sure. Stats liking this consistent, like, what I feel like we might end up calling a stats pylon at some point.
Stats pylon, yeah. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I really like it that way. It just makes really good sense to hide as many pylons as you can, delay any sort of information, throw your opponent off that way, because this game is essentially all about information, and the more you withhold, the better your odds are.
I mean, this has been a trend in competitive RTS since the beginning of time. Hide your tech, hide anything you can. You know, a player in Starcraft 2, in the very beginning of Starcraft 2's competitive scene in Korea, called Maka, he used to consistently hide his first or second barracks behind the mineral line at the natural because it would throw his opponents off, sometimes make them think he was doing a proxy.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was always an interesting sort of style, and yeah, it's exactly as you say. It's all about withholding that information. SSL choosing not to, you know, delay the natural, instead scout the main. Next is going to go down nice and easy. Very, very similar sort of start to the game as we saw last game. Reaper going to be used for scouting proxies more than anything else.
Yeah.
Doesn't really have to scout the main, as we already see an SCV in there.
Really curious to see if Stats is going to go Stargate again on this map. I don't think he should. Oh, well, there's a pylon actually to the bottom right, or is that just a probe?
Just a probe for now, but it's going to be a pylon. And I think we might actually see a Stargate.
The Reaper gets so close to scouting that location, but doesn't go far enough.
Yeah, well, it's a big commitment to go all the way over there as well. Might choose not to, though he should.
Well, the idea, right, is like, if he's going to hide a Stargate, he'd probably hide it a little bit closer than that to make it a little bit faster.
This is such a popular spot, though, which is the Reaper's kind of getting close to it. He's looking where he can.
It looks like this is going to be DTs, though, Moonglade. He might just hide a Dark Shrine there.
Well, he's almost at 150, 150, so I think it might be a Stargate, but it's going to get caught out regardless.
Well, it's not going to be anything anymore.
Yeah, nice try. See if he puts anything down at home. He's got a Twilight at home, yeah, so it probably was a DT. I think you're right there, Wolf.
Could have been a Dark Shrine. Could have also been a Stargate, you know.
Well, I mean, with that Twilight, it only makes sense it'd be a DT.
Well, most likely, almost 100%.
Yeah. Still, it looks like he might try for it, and it's going to be in his natural.
God.
And here comes the Reaper.
This worries me, man.
Yeah, dude. This is... well, I guess if he can keep the Reaper away, it's all worth it, right? Like...
Yeah, as long as he can deny a scout, keep the Reaper, and follow up SCV scouts. There's already blind turrets going up. See, this is the problem, though. This is the problem. If your opponent scouts a pylon like this, he's expecting that you're either going to hide a Stargate or hide DTs. What's the safe thing to do in this case? To make turrets.
And it's exactly what we saw Maru do the other game. So it's like, well, you already know the reaction of Maru when it's this kind of situation, which is to make turrets. So what are you going to find with it this time? You're going to find nothing. You're going to find the exact same response. You're going to find turrets.
That was a great scan location. But it also further highlights how good the placement of the stats DT Shrine is. That's where you'd expect to see something like a Stargate or a Dark Shrine hidden right at the bottom, right at that main base. But in fact, he hit it to the top left where it's more likely to be scouted like by a Reaper or an SCV. So Maru didn't expect it to be there. So he still doesn't know for sure, but he has the answer already. And this should do very little damage.
It should do, unless he gets a turret. If he gets the turret before anything can kind of stop them, then there's some potential damage there. But the way it is now, the Bio is kind of in between the bases, though he should be probably a little bit towards the.
He has a scan saved. He has a scan saved.
I think he sees them. He does see them.
Yep.
He's going to scan for this one. Oh, he's going to have to. Oh, no damage, really. One SCV and one scan is the damage.
And all he needs to do is make a third turret at his ramp, and that you see it queued up right there.
Well, I mean, he can just block this off as well. The turret will be good enough. Oh, doesn't have to, I guess.
Ooh. Wow. Don't want to be stats right now.
No, he's
going to have a long, tough transition to make. Okay, doing a DT drop. That could work.
I don't know. I think at this point you just got to change it up, and I think the Warp Prism's more to kind of.
Oh my God! He tries for it.
Yeah.
This is so gimmicky, though. I mean, can I be frank for a second? Like, maybe if I send a DT over there, maybe I can see him if his depot's down and he isn't paying attention.
Yeah, it's a complete luck sort of thing. It's like trying to run up a ramp when Senju's at the top of the ramp and he's not paying attention for a second. You get that hit. I think the Warp Prism's simply going to be to buy time while he transitions. As we do see that Forge go down with the Robo facility. It's really just to like drop Zealots in, keep the Terran in his base so he can try and salvage what this game is.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't even have that much money to warp in any additional Zealots here. Well, the Marines don't have combat shields, so they will get one shot by the DTs. So that's some damage.
A little bit. But he also showed the Warp Prism, so he's like, okay, I have to be defensive as well.
He's going to try to take a third base right now, too.
Yeah.
2 more kills. Gets out with his shields.
Nice. Yeah, it hasn't actually taken really any damage yet. Finding work.
Maru's coming to catch the Warp Prism on its retreat. He's going to try to cut it off here.
I don't think he can, though. It's kind of in the middle of a space. He can fly either way. If he gets enough Marines on the bottom, perhaps he can scare it to come forwards.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. Good placement by stats. This third base, I like it, but it's again a risk. When you're behind, you have to take risks. Scan has to come down, saves it. And that's a small stim there.
It's a big move right there.
This base, I don't think he can hold it, even against this flimsy, tiny Bioforce.
Well, I mean, he's got an Immortal with that as well, and a Sentry. With that Colossus and a pretty decent amount of gateway units, I think he might have enough because there's only 2 Marauders with this.
Does he have a Nexus cannon? Where's his Mothership Core?
He should do.
He should. If he has that, he should be able to hold this.
He's got 2 Nexus cannons in the arsenal there with that energy.
He's actually really starting to whittle this eBay down.
Yeah, he should probably just put a turret up there instead of wasting scans.
Okay, so Maru's not even going to commit to this anymore.
Wow. Stats kind of making good decisions here, keeping the Terran at bay, while he just focuses on salvaging the game, and coming back, getting it sort of ahead in economy. And his composition isn't half bad either at this point.
Maru is just so preoccupied with this drop.
Oh my goodness.
He doesn't get it again. He should be able to...
from behind. Gonna scan and kill that
again. And he may save the Warp Prism. It may force another stim at least.
He's gonna push for it. He wants it.
He's mad. He really wants it.
Oh, he gets it as well.
He gets it.
Nice.
And that's important. That's not just... I mean, I joke that he's mad, but that once it's dead for sure, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's the biggest relief.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about these massive warpins of Zealots coming into your main base. He's finally putting down his third base, so Maru's gonna probably have to make something happen with this with these Bio. Start harassing this third base. He could get a pretty good arc here. He could get a pretty good concave on this army that is still pretty small. Only 2 Colossus.
Yeah, the third Colossus just came out. He needs to get that down here ASAP. Oh, he's actually going to drop the natural while he does this. There's 2 or 3 drops heading over there. 3 drops.
3 drops. Not much there. Just 1 cannon. Photon Overcharge activated at the third base.
Stats did not see this coming. He pulls his probes now very quickly. This Colossus, though, is almost more important than the Nexus, man. He cannot lose that. And the Nexus is tanking a little bit here with that Nexus cannon, and he survives. Good patient reaction there. Only 3 probes lost.
Not too bad, but there's still an active Widow Mine behind. So if he decides to throw in those probes, he could lose a lot of them. I'm going to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Pylon gets picked off here. Small victory. It's actually supply block stats.
He deals with the mine. It's unfortunate.
Charge is almost done. +1 almost done. Stats is up a base. He's up significantly in Harvesters. There's no Vikings from Maru. I feel like he's clawed his way back into this.
Yeah,
pretty even game.
He has for sure. He's definitely he's even got a lead at this point, like to a point. That third base is going to help him catch up pretty quickly.
He might lose his Dark Shrine. I don't think so, though.
No, I don't think so. Not with that Colossus there. Big drop into the main base.
Exactly.
Not much here. Templar looking for those feedbacks.
Oh, they don't get him. Oh, he gets it a bit late and doesn't get that Archon off either. Ouch. That was a great Widowmine hit, too. This is going really badly for Stutz. Drop being very, very efficient here for Maru. Meanwhile, he scans and sees the natural is open. Goes for a drop there. Unfortunately for him, these units will come back with the probes. The probes, the probes. He needs to get those out. Oh! 16 probes!
That was insane. What a hit. Great focus fire from Maru. Oh, that's definitely gave him the momentum once again. He's up 25 supply. Still dropping. Still more units coming across the map. The third base, completely undefended right now.
Yeah, he brings these units over just in time. Stats needs to try to stay composed here. This is a lot of pressure. 1 DT is not enough for this many drops, and he can't bring all of his units from the third base because if he does, it's exposed, and Maru will take advantage of that. Probes being pulled here again. This is so much damage being done. Now he pulled all of his units away from the third base. It is exposed. Should Maru decide to attack right now?
Very careful game here. He's going to try to get out alive with everything. And
okay,
now,
here comes those units at the third.
Oh my god, the third is completely undefended this time for sure. One Colossus not going to do anything against this many Marauders.
Maru is just outplaying him here. He's out multitasking him. Going to kill these Zealots. Finally, a few more units come, but they're going to walk right into a Widowmine. That's a lot of shield damage on that Colossus. It almost goes down. And now that they're finally here, he's just going to boost back into the main base.
Oh my god. There's nothing here but a few Stalkers and an Immortal. They're going to go down. I think we're going to see the main go down. He's going to try rotate back, but more and more buyers coming across the map for that third base. Every probe in the third was not mining for quite some time. There's simply too much momentum in Maru's favor.
Right now, Maru's playing tennis, but he's not playing tennis with Stats. Stats is the ball. And this is going to be a dead third Nexus. This time, I don't think there's any way he could save it. It goes down.
60 supply lead now for Maru. The game is completely in his favor. I don't think there's anything left for Stats to do. He knows he is choked out at this point. He might try for one last sort of attack, one last defense, maybe get something happening, but he's down on one base.
Oh no, he's going to lose the Colossus! Oh, that was so... Oh, he still lost it! Maru was paying attention. He targeted that. At the same time, he does a massive Doom drop in the main base, and I think Doom is the only way to describe Stats' decision, or his position right now in this game. Losing those 16 probes definitely was the start of the end of this game.
He's
Storm
gone.
goes down, the first one we've seen, but it's still not going to be enough to change this game. Look at that, a second army.
Yeah, that was the first Storm we saw in like 6 games.
That's actually very well said. I didn't even realize that.
How funny is that? And a great win for Maru. What an excellent last couple of games, man. He is really showing his true colors. And that 16 probe kill, Widowmine, what the hell is going on?
Well, I feel like Stats definitely showed some shakiness in this series. Being on the big stage, I think some nerves definitely came into this. He used some builds that were just a bit gimmicky, a bit cheesy. I feel like he wasn't confident he could beat Maru in a straight-up series. And Maru absolutely deserves to be the very first Neighbor Star League finalist. What a great series that was, regardless of some of the mistakes we saw made. Really, really fun to watch. The Sejong game was by far the best.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. I've never seen such an intense game. It's been so long since I've seen so back and forth. It's like Maru, that last game as well, just perfectly done for Maru.
Yeah, he just has that multitasking. He's got that skill, and it lets him do these crazy moves. He never once did not have the Widowmine targeted on that weak Colossus. Every time it was ready to fire, I mean, the game was already over at that point, but he was just like, on point. I am going to hit this Colossus with this Widowmine that you haven't dealt with every single time while I'm attacking 2 other places at the same time on the map.